What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video and welcome back to the Bubba TV channel. Today I have for you something a little bit different, but something all of you guys have been asking for while I've been watching the Lord of the Rings universe, the Lord of the Rings trilogy and the Hobbit trilogy, and also the War of the Rohirrim. Today we are doing a movie tier list. S tier to D tier. I'm going to tell you guys my thoughts about all the movies, where they're going to rank, and I just can't wait to have a huge chat about these movies because I've been waiting for it. I've been waiting so long for it. So, without further ado, I hope you guys sit back, relax, and most importantly, enjoy. Okay, here we are with the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit. Let's just say the Lord of the Rings universe. We're here with the Lord of the Rings universe tier list. Now, just a disclaimer, just heads up before we get into the video, into talking about these amazing movies, is that, one, it's my opinion. Our opinions are all a bit different, so don't get too heated if my list is a little bit different to yours or extremely different to yours. We all have our different tastes and our different likes and dislikes, so just understand that. Don't get too mad, but also comment down below what your list looks like. What's your favorite movie, what's your least favorite movie, and what's your favorite part of these movies. And also, this isn't any regular tier list. We're talking about a Lord of the Rings universe tier list. Might I say, coming from a huge Star Wars fan, you guys got me. The greatest cinematic trilogy to ever be seen on our screens. So this is no normal tier list. All of these movies are absolutely amazing and all tie into one overarching story, just like I said for the Harry Potter movies and the Harry Potter tier list. If I could rank all these in S tier, they would be, because it's an S tier story. It's an S tier universe. But there's definitely going to be some weaker movies, and there's definitely going to be some way stronger movies. So just keep that in mind. When I'm rating certain movies lower, doesn't mean they're shit. They're, compared to me rating it a B on here, that's equivalent to an S tier on any other movie tier list. It's just because we've got so much high quality in this tier list. So let me stop blabbering on. We are going to start off with the movie that started all of our journeys of the Lord of the Rings. We all had the same experience sitting here watching the Lord of the Rings and the Fellowship of the Ring. The Lord of the Rings. Holy aura. Oh, the music already sounds dope. The Fellowship of the Ring. See what I mean, dude? Look at that. Look at that vibe. What is this? Oh my god, goosebumps. Wait, who's here? Yeah, it's our boy Strider. Yeah. My god, it's a huge eagle. That is dope. That is so cool.
You have my sword and you have my bow.
Oh yeah,
And my axe.
yeah, and you have my staff.
So be it. You shall be the Fellowship of the Ring.
There it is. Title drop. This is gonna be so good. Now what? What do we do with the Fellowship of the Ring? Ooh, the score is insane. This is amazing. It was a mistake. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. How's that wooden door gonna hold anything? They have a cave troll. Oh, the music again. Look how dope that looks. Oh my god. Oh my god, the thing made from fire and shadow.
Balrog,
A Balrog.
demon of the ancient.
Holy! How can we do anything about that?
You shall not pass!
Oh my god, goosebumps! Survived it. Oh, the fire! No! Oh my god, go back. The Fellowship. No way, you just leave him. You're joking. No, you're joking. You're joking. Do you not, you
fools.
You're... There's no way Gandalf dies here. Oh, don't you dare. No. Oh, I fucking knew it. Oh. Avenge Boromir, yeah, boy. Wait, what the fuck? Oh, dude, you've avenged Boromir. I don't think Boromir's living this.
My king.
Oh, there he goes. Far out. Dude, I had a feeling someone had to die.
Travel light. Let us hunt some orc.
What a trio! Gimli, Legolas, and Aragorn. I'm still getting good with the names. No way!
Hope the others find a safer road.
Strider will look after him.
Suppose we'll ever see them again.
We may yet, Mr. Frodo.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Glad you're with me.
Hell yeah, I am too. I'm loving this duo. That it? Oh yeah, dude. Now, the Fellowship of the Ring. This one, for a lot of people, sits really, really close to their heart, because I can obviously see why. For my first time watching Lord of the Rings, and for a lot of people's first time watching Lord of the Rings, it is an absolutely amazing experience. They just do so well in building the story and building the characters. Getting launched into a place like Middle-earth, filled with so many creatures, tales, stories, and lore, it's pretty hard to get your head wrapped around, but the Fellowship makes that such a wonderful experience. Starting off in the Shire, there's just, I get goosebumps now even talking about it. Just there's something about the Shire and the music around it and the scenery of it and the people within the Shire, the hobbits. It just makes you start off the movie in such a nice place, and it sits special in my heart, and will sit special in a lot of others' hearts, of just how amazing that movie starts with meeting Frodo, Sam, Mary, Pippin, and especially meeting Gandalf. And it's just such an awesome place to start in the movie, and it starts the movie off with such just this feel-good, warm feeling. And that's when, you know, shit's about to get real, when you end up meeting the ring for the very first time, and you know shit's about to get real, especially when Gandalf's getting mad about the ring, and he's like, "Do not give me that ring, Bilbo." And it just starts off the movie and the story so well, because you're still wondering, what the fuck is this ring? Why is this wizard so scared of this one ring? And obviously we learn that from the amazing, one of the best intros and starting sequences in any movie, just with Galadriel talking and narrating over the forming of all the rings. The most perfect way to start a movie, intrigues you, just you're so keen to learn more about this tiny piece of golden ware, this ring. What can a ring be so bad, and how can it be so evil? and it just starts off with them like, I keep saying it. It starts off amazing. Starts off our journey amazing. Obviously, they do so well in meeting all the characters for the very first time, introducing us to our fellowship, starting with our boy, who's, I wouldn't say he's the main, he is the main character, is his story, but I would say we follow it from, obviously, Frodo and Sam, but we meet our boy, Aragorn, the man the trilogies are made about, and just the way we meet him, it was just such an iconic scene with him and his pipe, with him sitting in the corner of the bar. Who's that looking over there? And it's just him sitting with the pipe, and then the shot of his eyes. That's why I recreated it in my Return of the Kings video. And obviously, if you haven't watched my Lord of the Rings movie reactions for the very first time, why are you watching this video? Go check those out and then come back to this video, because you get to experience all of that with me, and they're just peak movies with peak reactions, and you'll be able to understand what I'm talking about a little bit more. But anyway, that's why I recreated it in that Return of the King video. That's why I dressed up as that, my boy Aragorn, because just the way we meet him, it's just this mysterious character. People call him Strider. Like, we don't even figure out what his name is till that point. All we know him as is Strider, and it's just absolutely awesome. And then further building on the Lord of the Rings world and throwing us into it was the introduction of Rivendell. And every time I see Rivendell, even when I'm talking about it, I get absolute goosebumps from it, because it was absolutely beautiful. And don't even like get me started on the way they built it. I'm pretty sure they did it miniatures. Blows my mind. Still don't understand how they did that. The minds on that film set were absolutely amazing to put that into that beauty that we saw on screen. That was Rivendell. That sequence of Fellowship was like top 3 for me. I just always loved being in Rivendell. And then obviously meeting one of my favorite characters, Elrond, not knowing what he could do. We only had seen him in the prologue during the war for Mordor, whatever that war was. We saw him briefly, and we just further meet new characters with Elrond. We learn further like about the lore of the ring and what it does to people and how it corrupts people, like we'd already seen with hints of Bilbo during the parts during the Shire, with him wanting to leave, just be on his own with the ring, him acting the way he was around Gandalf because of the ring. And we further learn that the ring does corrupt you slowly, turns you into what Gollum is, and further just making this ring character more sinister, and learning the lore of Isildur and the lore between Isildur and Elrond, and how that has came to be with the ring. And that one thing of Isildur turning around, throw it into the fire, steal to the door, no! And then probably the most iconic scenes of Fellowship of the Ring, and probably one of like a couple people's favorite scenes of the movie, is like the council of, I don't even know what to call it, but then the Council of the Ring, when they're talking about the ring, and we get introduced to Boromir, who was an absolutely amazing character during that first movie, with him being that side that everybody was thinking about. Everybody watching that movie, including myself, was thinking, why don't we just take this all-powerful ring that everyone is talking about, that this dude can't get, or else he becomes incredibly powerful that we can't stop? Why don't we just take the power for ourselves? All of us were thinking like that, and they betrayed that feeling through Boromir, and Boromir sitting there in his seat, just looking at the ring, thinking, how can I bring this back to Gondor? How can I make the power in the hands of the men and use it against the enemy, just like he says? And just obviously them talking about the famous meme, one can't simply walk into Mordor. With him, I'm pretty sure that's him looking down, if he's like that, looking down at like the lines on like his knee or something, which is a cool little behind the scenes fact. But further learning more about just once again, hearing names that we haven't seen yet. Gondor, which becomes a huge part later in the trilogy. Then meeting the Fellowship, meeting all our characters. Meeting Legolas, who becomes one of my favorites throughout the whole trilogy. Meeting Gimli, who also becomes one of my favorites throughout the whole trilogy. Between them two, during that council, we learned the lore between the beef between the elves and the dwarves, why they might hate each other, or dwarves and elves do hate each other. Why is there existing beef there? Why do they not want to work with each other? Always wondering why. And then just that council blowing up, everyone frantic at each other, figuring out what they should do with this all-powerful ring, if they should defend it, use it for themselves, or destroy it, which can only be destroyed in the fires of Mount Doom. And who pops up and puts their hand up? Obviously, Frodo, starting off our Fellowship of the Ring with, obviously, who's by his side? Sam, Merry, Pippin. You have my bow, Legolas. You have my axe, Gimli. And you have my sword, Aragorn. And then that's where our journey starts into the trilogy. That's the start of it, really. Like, that first half is just building up this great story, building our characters, building up our world, and then we get sent off. Probably one of the greatest sequence of that movie, the Mines of Moria. I was waiting for it to be this beautiful place like Gimli was talking about, this place with all these dwarfs and these jewels. I was picturing Moria like Erebor was, just this home of the dwarves, and obviously not. As soon as they walk in, it's a tomb. It's been ridiculed by orcs that we still have not seen. And obviously we get to the tomb of my boy Balin, Rip Balin. I gotta rewatch that, because that will hit a spot here, my boy Balin's tomb. And it just starts off with this absolutely sick fight in the tomb. Obviously you hearing all the orcs coming, and then just the arrow being shot at Boromir's head, him blocking the door, and the iconic line, "They have a cave troll." That fight was absolutely so cool. Then we go into probably my most favorite part of the Fellowship, which was obviously the Balrog, made from fire and shadow. It was mentioned by Saruman that there is something in the Mines of Moria made from fire and shadow, and that even Gandalf, that's the reason he didn't want to go in there, was because of the Balrog. And it was just absolutely amazing. I'm just going to play the scene. Oh my god, the thing made from fire and shadow. A Balrog.
Demon of the ancient world.
Oh, that's not good.
Foes beyond any of you.
We can only run. Obviously, the iconic "You shall not pass," and our first time. Sorry, I'll give that a bit more. "You shall not pass." Bang. And them just having a lot of fun in that scene. Our first time seeing this Balrog. And we think that Gandalf defeats this Balrog. No, that's where Gandalf dies. And then we were off to the land of Galadriel, her kind of elf colony. She was incredibly cool. Us first time seeing the almighty powerful elf, the Lady of the Light Galadriel. Following the Fellowship further into the world of Middle-earth, and them being hunted down by the huge orc army. And such a dope Aragorn scene when the orc army's like just come over the ridge, and he's like looking at him, staring face to face with the army, and he just pulls out his sword and he starts walking towards them. Aura. And this is when it kind of accumulates of the sickness that Boromir was getting with being corrupted by the ring, not even having it. He's just being slowly corrupted by it. And this is where it tips over, where he actually tries to kill Frodo for the ring to take back to Gondor. And Frodo has to put on the ring to escape Boromir. Absolutely mental. And then that whole fight scene is just awesome. Once again, seeing Gimli and Legolas just do their thing while fighting. Same with Aragorn. And then, sadly, we get Boromir's death. Like a true warrior. Tanks 3 arrows to the chest while still fighting. And then, if it wasn't for Aragorn, we would have seen him get an arrow in the head and that would have been him dead. But no, Aragorn comes in, 1v1s that I'm pretty sure it's an Orca, that Orcai orc leader of that army. And there was a couple cool little behind the scenes details about that. I'm pretty sure the orc threw a knife at Vigo and Vigo actually deflected it. And if he didn't deflect it, he would have actually been like stabbed. Just so cool. And then sadly, yeah, we get Boromir's last breath with him handing the horn to Gondor, to Aragorn. And that is how we end off the movie, with Frodo and obviously the guy who stays by his side, Sam, splitting off, going to Mordor. And then we have Legolas, Gimli, and Aragorn going off to let's hunt some orc. That's how the movie ends, just with and that scene between Frodo and Sam, just them hugging it out. And that Sam said he made a promise to Gandalf that he wouldn't leave Frodo no matter what. And it still gets me emotional to this day, because yeah, that is just an amazing scene, an awesome way to end the movie. So I am going to rank Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, the place where it started of all, an A tier. Remember, on this list, an A tier. This is an S tier movie, but in the scale with these other films, it just can't match with a couple of these other films on here. Yeah. So, Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, the first movie, is going at an A tier. I like that spot a lot. Now we are going to jump to The Hobbit. The Hobbit.
My dear Frodo.
No, we're starting off with this. No, I can't. I'm already getting emotional. Stop. Yes, more dwarfs. Come on.
Sound the alarm. Pull out the guard. Do it now.
What has the strength to move trees? Yes! Yes! Oh, there's a fucking dragon. It's fucking huge.
Oh, go on then.
Oh, the music. It never gets old. The Unexpected Journey.
Dwellin. At your service.
Nice to meet you, Dwellin. Who are you? You look fucking sick.
Oh, do you hear that, lads? He says,
Oh. Oh.
The knives bend the...
Oh, we're getting music.
The glasses and crack.
Yeah.
Bilbo Baggins hates cut the block.
Yeah. I'm about to hit the jiggy.
Smash the wine on every door.
There. What? Dude, this is fucking dope. Oh my god, it's vibrating throughout my whole body. This is amazing.
Far over the misty mountains cold.
Holy shit. I'm loving the vibe of this movie already. Holy shit. This is gonna be so fucking good. Who the fuck is that guy?
Legions of orcs, Azog.
Azog.
The Defiler.
Azog the Defiler, fuck yeah. Rivendell? Is it Rivendell? Oh my god, it's so beautiful. It's every time we see it, it's more beautiful than the last. I love it. Cold Dooku.
Left snap. The black crack.
Yeah, we're getting songs in this. I love it. What the? Oh my god, dude, that loincloth is so close.
Down, down, down in Goblin Town.
They are goblins. Goblin Town. Down, down, down in Goblin Town. Pick it up and clear some fucking What the fuck was Gandalf? Gandalf? Oh my god, I fucking love this.
Azog.
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 Azog. All these orcs up. Never mind, it's the fucking dwarf. Let's go. I love it. Gandalf. The eagle tuna. The butterfly. Come on. Yeah. Look at them all. No, that could wake him up. That could wake it up. No. Please say the fucking bird didn't do it to us. No. No way we get to see it. No, don't end on the eye opening. Don't end on the eye opening. No. Peter Jackson, you did it again! The first Hobbit movie was absolutely amazing. Blew my mind away. I kind of knew what I was in store for this movie. I knew it was going to be something about Bilbo's journey, like they mentioned in The Fellowship, and Bilbo's journey with Gandalf. And I was just so excited. I'm a big prequels guy. I love prequels because it enriches the experience from the original movies that you watch, giving more lore to the characters. And I love the details they add in the prequel movies for you to be able to enjoy those type of moments. Just all the dwarves that, once again, the first half of the movie of them in the Shire, just absolutely amazing. You cannot go wrong in the Shire. Seeing Gandalf as Gandalf the Grey again, seeing a young Bilbo, and then obviously him being stubborn. And then I love it how you already know he's this adventurous hobbit, and he's unlike any hobbit we've ever seen before besides Frodo. And then seeing him the complete opposite before he changed his ways, him being stubborn, wanting to stay inside, wanting to stay within his shell of the Shire, and him not even wanting to leave. It was just, I knew I was in for an amazing story. And then obviously the 13 dwarves, absolutely amazing. Just that first scene with Dwalin knocking on that door, just so cool. Meeting all of the different dwarves having their own little spin. Bomber being fat, Dwalin being just this huge brute. Balin just being this, I don't know, this really like friendly old man type dwarf. Feely and Keely, obviously you need twins, them being really, really energetic. Bogger was just really, really funny. And then obviously Thorin Oakshield, him being the serious guy, and you knew he stood business every time he was on the scene. In the scene, I loved the songs during this movie were absolutely amazing. I really liked the tone of the movie because, like you guys said, The Hobbit was like a child's book with riddles and songs written throughout the book. I just loved how they added in that movie that far over the misty mountains cold. I just love that song, Misty Mountain. I keep doing this. I keep going back because I forget the start of the movie. How do I forget the start of the movie? Especially with The Hobbit, seeing the halls of Erebor, the home of the dwarves, it was just an absolutely amazing introduction to the story of the dwarves, further deepening the lore. And as soon as I saw dwarves on the screen, I was like, oh my god, we're getting more than just men and hobbits. We're getting lore on dwarves and on elves with Thundriel on his elk. Don't even get me started. Absolutely so cool. And just getting introduced to the greatest calamity of their age, the fire drake from the north, Smaug. Not even seeing him in that first like prologue scene of the opening of the movie, not even like seeing him, seeing just his fire, him burning Dale, and then him just crashing through the doors of Erebor, and obviously taking over Erebor to the point where the dwarves had to flee. Bringing us to why they needed Bilbo was because they wanted to get back to their home, either kill Smaug, thinking Smaug was dead, but they needed a burglar to get in. And they just started off that movie. A new bad guy, Azog the Defiler, the Pale Orc. He was really, really cool. I loved him. I loved how they didn't do, like, they actually did something physical this film, even though we had, like, we knew the bad guy was Smaug because they were talking about him so much, and obviously a huge fire-breathing dragon was going to be the big bad guy. But Azog the Defiler just had this sense around. He was just unlike anything we had ever seen before. A pale orc with piercing blue eyes, and him having the lore of killing Thorin's grandfather, and him basically giving Thorin the chance to gain his name, Thorin Oakshield, with that awesome battle of Moria, exploring Middle-earth even more with going and recounting Bilbo's stories that he told in Fellowship of the Ring. Love that detail of the movie with the trolls. Absolutely amazing. And then we got to see the goblins for the very first time. The Goblin and the Goblin King. Run down in Goblin Town. Absolutely amazing. Once again, seeing Rivendell again, seeing our boy Elrond, and being in Rivendell, like I said, absolute ball. Learning even more about the history between the dwarves and the elves, why they're beefing. And obviously meeting a couple new characters. We got to meet Radagast the Brown, who was kind of like this druid, and the Wizard of the Forest. And then his little storyline with Dumbledore talking about this necromancer, who I kind of got off the go that was going to be Sauron, because how can you have a Hobbit movie without mentioning Sauron, or at least alluding to him getting stronger? Super duper cool. Love that part of the movie where they didn't even drop his name yet. You had a feeling, but you didn't want to say it, that it was him. It was just a necromancer summoning these wraith type beings that Radagast fights in Dumbledore. Meeting Gollum and seeing how Bilbo got his hand on the ring, and Gollum literally let it slip out of his pants. That's how clumsy he is, and that he let his precious, my precious, just slip out of his pants. Bilbo just grabs it, and that obviously starts and leads into Lord of the Rings. That's how Frodo got the ring. And imagine, what if Gollum never dropped the ring and Bilbo never got hit in that instant? Super cool. And then that little short instance we get with Gollum, really cool. They just did a good Gollum in that movie where he was just menacing, always wanted to kill Bilbo, playing the riddles game. Just always love seeing Gollum on screen. Obviously, the escape of the dwarves and with Gandalf, absolutely so cool. Seeing even more Gandalf feats with him just eradicating like that whole group of goblins, and just that whole sequence of them running through that goblin home was really, really cool. Seeing how all the dwarves fight. Then the movie ends with us getting basically pinned down on a edge of a cliff, face to face with the orcs that were chasing us for the whole film, and especially Azog the Defiler. Just the fight with the fire, and just Thorin going out of his way to 1v1 Azog. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely, I loved it. What a place to have a fight on the edge of a cliff with trees on fire, and the only way they could escape, obviously, was who came in clutch. Motherfucker! The Eagles. I love it when the Eagles are on screen. Super duper cool. Just seeing them. Oh, I just love the theme of the Eagles. It's just, you just can't get enough of it. And just seeing them sweep up all the remaining orcs and then saving the company of Thor and Oakenshield, and then flying them to that peak where they can see the Lonely Mountain. And I think my favorite part of the Hobbit movie is the ending. I'm not saying it's bad, but that ending leads us off with the biggest cliffhanger, because we heard of Smaug at the start of the movie, and obviously they're waiting for us to see it for this big reveal, the big bad guy of the movie, and they do it absolutely perfectly with, what are the odds this little tiny bird is trying to crack its nut, paws on the side of the mountain, echoing out through the halls of Erebor, and the movie ending off with Smaug waking up and all you see is the eye. I just went absolutely bonkers for it. Absolutely amazing way to end the movie. So, The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey will be going in for me. Will be going in a B or A. I don't know. I don't know whether it should be a B or an A. I generally don't know. They're both such good movies, but I feel like I have to put it in B. I feel like because obviously it's not as good as The Fellowship, and there's definitely some points missing from it, but obviously a B is on this tier list, like I've said, isn't comparable to any other movies. These movies are absolutely amazing. Just there, I couldn't tell you what they could do better, but it just doesn't match the quality of the Lord of the Rings. Actually, you know what? Maybe I have to... Nah, I'm going to leave it in a B just for now. Okay. Our next movie is The Lord of the Rings and the Two Towers. The Lord of the Rings. It's gonna be so good, and it's gonna be sick. Oh, this is gonna be so good. Oh no, don't. Oh, what a shot. That is, oh, that is dope. Oh my god, the music. Sorry, I just had to take a second. Oh my god, that hit me like a flashbang. Oh, that's so beautiful. Oh, the face. Oh, it's... No way. Wait, what the fuck is flying? It's a dragon! What? Wait. They just upgraded from horse from last film. That's a dragon. There's a school on the dragon. Weapons ready, boys. Oh, flashbang. You see, look how strong he is. Look, Saruman just literally smoked our sword. Now we're cooked. But why is he in the trees?
Kill yourself!
Yeah! Wait, no, what? Dude, goosebumps. Yo, what? Hell yeah. Someone else takes the ring and then fucking drag. What? Oh my god, it's more than one dragon. Yeah.
I was to war!
Oh, to war! He's crying. I don't think you've... There is such force, Snake. Holy shit. Oh my god, it's raining. This is going to be peak. Holy shit. Holy shit.
What's happening out there?
Describe it to you.
Nothing.
Or would you like me to find you a box?
I like that.
Is this it?
Don't say that, you dumbass.
Is this all you can conjure, Saruman?
Oh my god. Dude, he's sliding on a shield. That was dope. That was dope. Gimli and Aragorn. So dope, dude. Just don't tell the elf. Bang, 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 bang. Oh, he's pissed. He's just, oh my god. That was a tree being cool. Oh my god, all the Ents are gonna come. Oh, we have an Ent army.
The Ents are going to war.
Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, this is gonna be dope. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna fucking cry. This is so good. Oh my god. It's only the second movie.
They're here.
Oh my god, the Nazgul?
They've come.
No. If I see a dragon or wyvern. Yes! Oh, it's so good. Oh, what? Dude. This is fucking peak. Oh my god. Gandalf.
At dawn.
Look east. Look to the east. I'm looking east, Gandalf. I'm fucking looking east. Oh my god. Looking. I'm looking to the east. I'm looking. What has he bring? Gandalf the White. Yeah. Let's go. Gandalf riding the Lord of all Horses. Yeah. This is peak, bro. This is peak. Oh my god. There are so many people. Oh, dude. Just with Gandalf at the front. Just like that whiteness going into the darkness. Just that shot was just so good. Actually, just a visual of like... Oh my god, dude, I'm gonna have an orgasm, bro. I don't know. This is definitely rocks. Dude, what the fuck's gonna do? Just boot him. Man. The guy was on fire. He had his head on fire. He just went and dunked his head into the water.
We understand when another Frodo beckons.
You know the laws
Fucking
of our country.
peak, bro.
Your father.
Sauron's pissed.
The battle for Helm's Deep is over. Battle for Middle-earth is about to begin.
How can we get more battles? What?
All our hopes now lie with two little hobbits.
That's fucking insane. Like, guys from the Shire and the whole world is on their shoulders. Fucking love you, Sam.
We've got far without Sam.
And the eye. No. Ah! So, this movie for me, this was an absolute crazy experience. Just, I don't even know where to begin. The movie opens up with us seeing Gandalf after he's fallen in Moria, him flying down 1v1ing the Balrog. What a way to start a fucking movie. Absolutely amazing. And just that whole sequence was just amazing. Like I keep saying, it just blew me away of the feats of Gandalf and how strong he was, just 1v1ing this literal fire demon. We further got to see the plans of Saruman being made. Obviously, Sauron is the big bad guy, and I love this. It kind of builds on Saruman's character of him trying to... He thinks he can take over Middle-earth. He thinks he's the one playing Sauron when he's absolutely wrong. He's the one being played, and he's just doing Sauron's dirty work. Creating the orcs of Isengard, the Uruk-hai. Then we're also following Frodo and Sam, who are being hunted down by, the first time we really meet him, Gollum. Absolutely great introduction of him sneaking around, almost murdering Frodo and Sam for the ring, and then Frodo and Sam kind of taking Gollum into their company to lead them to Mordor, because he's the only one that has been in and out of Mordor. Then meeting one of the biggest parts of Two Towers, and maybe even the Lord of the Rings story, meeting Rohan and meeting King Theoden, meeting the Rohirrim. Just really super cool. Once again, building further on the world of Middle-earth, now introducing kind of clans and kingdoms of men. Theoden was, the first time we saw him, he was being controlled and he was bewitched by Saruman. Maybe a couple of my favorite creatures, meeting Treebeard for the very first time. Treebeard was absolutely amazing. The Ents were just such a cool part, an integral part of that movie. And within the story of the Ents, they kept talking about this white wizard. Wondering who the white wizard was, I was confused by it, because a couple scenes ago, we had seen Saruman talking about how we wanted to burn the forest, and that was the only white wizard we saw. So I was like, white wizard? Hold on, that's weird. Why would Saruman be working with the Ents? Maybe he's a double agent. Maybe he's working against Sauron at the same time. But obviously, no, we end up seeing the reincarnated Gandalf the Grey into the great, glorious Gandalf the White. That scene was just absolutely amazing. Just the power feats from it. And obviously, they leave us still wondering who it was, even when the guy was talking. And the great way they did that, they actually got the voice of Sir Ian McKellen and Sir Christopher Lee, and they put them together and like dubbed them together. So you actually couldn't tell who it was until you obviously saw Gandalf's face. Absolutely amazing. And then meeting the greatest horse in the Lord of the Rings franchise, the fastest horse in the whole of Middle-earth, Shadowfax. And you know it meant business when Gandalf was back. Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli were pulling up to Rohan. Gandalf bringing King Theoden out of his bewitched state. That leads us to being the story then going to Helm's Deep. Don't even get me started on Helm's Deep. Absolutely amazing. And then after the migration of Helm's Deep, also with that awesome Warg and Rohan fight on the orcs on the wargs and the Rohan soldiers on the horses. Really, really cool little fight. And then obviously still following Frodo and Sam through the they're called the Dead Marshes, I'm pretty sure. Really cool scenery. Once again, for like the 100th time this film, the cool little places throughout Middle-earth, and the Dead Marshes was really cool. And I just love also the dynamic between Gollum, Frodo, and Sam. Gollum always thinking about the ring, and you actually not knowing what Gollum's going to do, because he's also fighting with Smeagol. Smeagol wanting to do the good thing. Gollum wanting to do the bad thing. Always trying to get his ring. And it just always left you wondering what Gollum was going to do. If he was good, if he was bad. If he was going to kill Frodo or Sam. Or if he was going to help us get to Mordor. Follow, which is funny, Merry and Pippin on Treebeard's head. Pause for most of the duration of the film, just learning about just the culture of the Ents, and the Ents just taking so long to fucking talk, just taking literally the whole movie to figure out whether Merry and Pippin were orcs or not. Then also we get to meet another one of the characters, Faramir, who ends up becoming one of my favorite characters throughout the movies, and just his dynamic with him trying to figure out who the hobbits are, what are they doing, what side are they on, why are they so far away from the Shire, and at the same time while Faramir is trying to figure that out, Frodo's trying to hide the identity of himself and Sam, their means why they're out of the Shire, them trying to hide their quest, and them obviously trying to hide the ring. And I'm pretty sure they do blow their cover and they end up telling Faramir what the goal is, and Faramir ends up going, wait, Boromir, and you just that scene where you realize that Faramir is Boromir's brother, and it's that reveal, just absolutely, I thought Faramir was going to be like a guy that hated Boromir, and that he was like, oh, you know Boromir, I'm now going to kill you. No, he was Boromir's brother, and yeah, was Boromir's brother. And yeah, now we have that third relationship in there, just complicating it even more between the already highly like tensioned relationship between Frodo, Sam, and Faramir. And obviously Faramir learning that they have the One Ring to rule them all, and him taking after his brother, and him trying to impress his dick of a dad, Denethor. So obviously he does, like his brother did, take the ring back to Gondor so Gondor can be the most powerful, and that men can rule the earth, and that if Gondor has the power of the ring, they will win against Sauron, which is obviously wrong. And before I talk about Helm's Deep, I'm going to finish with this Faramir type story. I just love it how it comes back around with how Faramir was always trying to impress his dad and be the son that Denethor wanted, and trying to be like Boromir. And obviously he snaps out of that kind of trance he was and realizes what he's doing with Frodo and Sam, and realizing he could doom the world if he lets his father get the ring, or Gondor get the ring. And he ends up coming to his senses and letting Frodo and Sam go and continue their quest to destroy the ring. That was a very satisfying arc within that movie. And we also slowly, at the end, see the progression of Frodo becoming more tense when he has the ring, becoming more aggressive, seeing him slowly getting consumed by the ring, and him even turning on his best friend Sam. It's me, you're Sam. Absolutely heartbreaking. And if it wasn't for Sam, Frodo would have given the ring to that Nazgul, and we would have been absolutely cooked. So once again, another character coming in clutch, Sam. And now, obviously, what you guys have been waiting for me to talk about, Helm's Deep. The whole Helm's Deep sequence. So, first of all, just starting off with us learning about this army of the 10,000 orc strong army coming to Helm's Deep. And obviously, you guys have seen in so many reactions, to war! I just love that whole scene of us just seeing the army of Isengard. I was just in there, how the fuck are we going to be able to do this? There was 300 men from Rohan. How are they going to defend from this army being kept up in Helm's Deep? And obviously, Helm's Deep is a place that you can't run from. You go there to defend it as a last stand. If you go to Helm's Deep, you're going there to basically either kill what's coming or get overrun and be killed yourself. And obviously, everybody knew the task. Theoden knew the task that was at hand. Low-key pissed me off a little bit, that film. Just some of his decisions. I thought were a bit cowardly. Not cowardly, but I don't know. He just rubbed me the wrong way a little bit during that film. And just super cool with, obviously, the elf army pulling up. I don't even know how they pulled up with Gandalf. Oh, and before I talk about any more of that, Gandalf leaving like halfway throughout the film, and him just being like, look east on the 5th day when at dawn when light rises. You were just waiting for when light rises for that moment. I'll get to that though. But the elf army pulling up to Helm's Deep to give their life to protecting and helping Rohan, which I find absolutely amazing. Like, I'm pretty sure, like a comment said, showing how chivalrous of the elves to do that. Elves are immortal. They gave up their immortality to go fight a fight that they didn't even need to go help Rohan. It must have been Gandalf who called them over to help them, because I don't know how else they would have came. But absolutely amazing scene, gave us a little bit more hope for this Men of 300 and now this new army of elves to be able to fight this oncoming huge 10,000 strong Uruk-hai army. And just, you know, shit was about to get real when you see them marching and it's just the rain starts pouring when everybody is set up on the walls. It was just the whole sequence of that battle for Helm's Deep, absolutely amazing. And just that scene between Gimli and Legolas, the bromance starting, their comedic relief during that whole fight. The whole fight was absolutely amazing, showing what the orcs could do. I thought they were just big dumb brutes. Them bringing in strategy with a battle ram and ladders, showing the strength of the men and the elves. Absolutely amazing. Once again, showing the feats of Aragorn. And then the battle ends with, obviously, you know who, Gandalf pulling up with the Rohirrim, looking at light. And just as soon as we saw that light, I was like, oh my god, because it was almost over for everyone inside Helm's Deep. It had been overrun by orcs, and if it wasn't for Gandalf pulling up, I don't know what would have happened. I do not know. And just that whole scene, so incredibly iconic, with the Rohirrim coming down the hill. Just can't beat it. The juxtaposition of the light from Gandalf with the darkness of the orcs. Just absolute peak. That whole fight was absolute peak. Then probably my favorite line from that film. I was left on a count of 38. And then somehow Legolas didn't beat Gimli's count with him going down the stairs shooting those arrows on the shield. But him ending off a count of 37, and just those two in that movie were awesome. And then my favorite part of the movie was when the MVPs of the movie, Merry and Pippin, ended up convincing Treebeard, the one who was very against fighting in a war. He didn't want to fight. He didn't want more of his people to die, more of the Ents to die. And Merry and Pippin tricking Treebeard to turn around and walk towards Isengard, because they knew that what Isengard was doing, burning the trees, and what Isengard had turned the landscape around it into this wasteland, wetland. They just knew that if Treebeard saw that, they had Treebeard on their side. Treebeard would fight for them. And obviously that whole sequence was so cool. The siege of Isengard with the Ents, and just, it gives me goosebumps still. Treebeard screaming, and calling in all his Ents to go siege Isengard. So satisfying. Them throwing boulders at Isengard, watching Saruman just look over his newly built Isengard just get destroyed by these Ents. Absolutely so cool. Ents just booting orcs and Uruk-hai, throwing rocks, and then the orcs fighting back with fire, burning the orcs. Absolutely amazing. Just loved it. And then ending it off with a huge flood. And my favorite scene of the movie, with that one Ent with his head on fire, dunking his head under the water that's flooding Isengard, and just watching once again Saruman look over his newly flooded eyes, like his new pool basically. They had completely flooded it. It was just so satisfying. The Ents were just so incredibly cool, and the way they just ended off the movie with the satisfying victory of Helm's Deep and the satisfying destruction of Isengard, and just seeing Legolas, Gimli, Aragorn, and Gandalf looking over the horizon at the clouds brewing over Mordor and saying that was the battle for Helm's Deep. Now this is the battle for Middle-earth, and the movie ending it there. But wait, no, it doesn't end it there. We finally get one last scene between Frodo, Sam, Gollum, and Faramir, and Gollum mentioning that he's taking them through this certain tunnel, and Faramir is aware of this certain tunnel and what lurks in that tunnel, and them only referring it to by a she, thinking that it's some sort of human or man, not knowing that it's some sort of creature, and just leaving myself and you guys as the audience just being like, what is Gollum gonna take us into? What's Gollum taking Frodo and Sam into? What is this thing that Faramir is so incredibly scared of, and that he said he would literally kill Gollum if he lets Frodo and Sam die? Like, what is in this cave? And they leave us off with the biggest cliffhanger ever of, once again, like I mentioned it, Gollum being in two different places and you not knowing where Gollum stands, with two different personalities being inside his head, and Smeagol being like, no, we can't kill them. Gollum being like, but you know who we can get them. We don't need to kill them. We can get her to kill them. Smeagol being like, no. Gollum, you get your ring. And just ending it there with, you obviously know that it actually ends off with a bit of a cliffhanger if Gollum is really going through with what he was just saying, with he's gonna try to kill Frodo and Sam in the next movie. She is gonna try to kill him. She is going to kill them for Gollum, and just leaving us off with obviously Frodo and Sam going into this blinded, not knowing what it is. And it was just an absolutely amazing movie, and it set up the third film so incredibly well and started off where we left off from such an amazing film from The Fellowship. It was just awesome. The first bit was a little bit slow, but I absolutely love this movie. Love the characters within this movie. The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers is going to be my first S tier of this video. I absolutely loved it. Yeah, it was amazing. I love The Two Towers. Okay, now on to the second Hobbit, The Hobbit and the Desolation of Smaug. Ooh. The Hobbit. Oh, the music, it just never gets old. Wait, what is that? That is not a walk. That's not one of those wolf things, no? What is that? Is that a bear? Oh, hell yeah. Dude, The Desolation of Smaug. Run! Go, Bubba, you fat boy! Oh my god, we do! Yes! Oh my god, what an amazing shot. Like, the beauty of these films. Like, look at that. No, yuck. Oh my god, it looks even worse than the other one! Oh, it looks even worse. No way! Yes! No way! What an entrance! Wait! When she's... Oh my god, who is this? Hello! Yeah, kill those spiders. Yeah! After seeing him and Gimli.
Your brother?
That is my wife.
What is this horrid creature?
That's my daughter.
That's my wee lad, Gimli.
Wait! Oh my god! Let's go, Legless, come on. That, yeah, who the fuck did I, like, of course that's Legless. Look at his bow work. Ding, ching, ding, 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 ding. Oh, hits like a inspect on him, then pumps him in the head. Pause. Yes! The Barrel of Doom! Look at him spin! Oh my god, that looks so cool. They said it! Oh my god, yes! Wow! Oh, he looks so cool! Liar! Yeah!
My teeth are swords.
Oh.
My claws are spears.
Oh!
My wings are a hurricane.
My wings are a hurricane! And you know what? Give it to me, fam! Yo! He's pissed now! You've pissed off this dragon! Oh! Oh! Dude! Oh! The firepower is insane! How do we cool it down? Ah! Golden dragon! Haha! That's cool! Now he's pissed as fuck!
I will show you revenge.
Goodbye, Laytown. I'm sorry. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Golden dragon! Oh. Oh, Laytown's so fucked. Oh! No! No!
Oh, Miss.
No! No! Fuck! Now, The Hobbit and the Desolation of Smaug. I keep saying all these movies have such awesome opening, like these opening sequences, but this was absolutely amazing. Just first of all, once again, meeting and seeing our company of Thorin Oakshield, and us then seeing this huge beast, starting off the movie with this huge bear, and then calling it the beast, having no idea what it was. Just being this huge fucking bear, started off the movie so cool, and then being chased by this huge bear, and seeing the orcs again, meeting Bolg, the son of Azog, who becomes a pretty crucial part in the story as like the right-hand man and the enforcer of Azog, and the orcs being so scared of the beast that they don't even want to try attack the company of Thorin while they're inside. The skin changer Beor, such a cool character. Then we follow into the forest. I can't remember what the forest name was, but I did really enjoy that sequence during the forest. Obviously, I absolutely love the prequel details. In the first Hobbit movie, Bilbo gets Sting, not having earned its name yet, like Balin said in Rivendell, that swords have to earn their name, and just that whole sequence within the forest was really cool. Just them being like, you cannot get off the trail, you cannot leave off the trail. If you leave off the trail, it's going to be bad. And once again, Gandalf leaving us before we do that, that was a perfect time to have Gandalf. And no, he just leaves to go do his own thing, go do some wizard stuff, some wizard's business to attend to. And yeah, it just leaves us in this forest, this really magical forest. I know there's some scenes that were cut from me watching the theatrical version. They build on it being a little bit more magical, but we end up meeting the spiders within that forest, and them absolutely looking disgusting. They were absolutely terrifying, and them basically capturing all of the dwarfs except Bilbo, and Bilbo, via using the ring, ends up going to save the dwarves, killing a ton of these spiders, and the spider dying, and it's saying, it stings, it stings, it stings! Then earning the name of Bilbo's sword to sting. Absolutely loved that detail, and it was just that scene of further seeing the corruption of the ring to Bilbo when he kills that like spider lava thing, and he's like, it's mine, don't touch it. And he then rubs the ring like everybody does. and you seeing, we've seen this before in Lord of the Rings, and we're seeing it again, and it's just the slow corruption of the ring to Bilbo. And then once the dwarves have been saved by Bilbo, they are obviously having to fight the spiders, and then that's when we get the most epic entrance scene, seeing our boy Legolas, seeing our boy slide down, kill a couple spiders, and then just aim his bow at Thorin. And I was like, yes, it's our boy Legolas. I can't wait. It's going to be so good to have him in here. And apparently he wasn't in the books. Absolutely crazy. I loved him being in the movies. Him aiming his bow at the dwarf, and then him saying some sort of line indicating that he still hadn't had a change of heart. And that just blew my mind, seeing a racist Legolas after we see him in the Lord of the Rings and his character arc during the Lord of the Rings, and what happened after the Lord of the Rings with him and Gimli, and then seeing him as this racist elf prince. And that scene was just awesome. Then we get to further enriching the lore between the elves and the dwarves, and the home of the elf and the elven king Theondriel. And then we had that barrel scene, some questionable shots in the barrel scene though, with the GoPro action. I think they used a little bit, but nonetheless the action was really good. Just more Legolas feats with him and his bow and him balancing. We got a hell good Bomber scene with him in his barrel of mass destruction, and just him spinning around, being absolutely dope. It was just absolutely so cool. Such a interesting way of doing a fight scene was on this river and these river rapids. My favorite part of the movie, and maybe even my favorite character of the movie, when obviously Bard is telling the dwarves not to go to Erebor. You can't go home, because if you go to Erebor, you're going to wake him. You're going to wake it. You're going to wake the fire drake from the north. You're going to wake Smaug. And he is going to come down and he's going to kill us all. And I just loved how there was that bit of myself being like, oh shit, I don't want these random people to die. And I don't want these innocent people to die. But I also want the dwarves to get home. And that whole sequence of the dwarves opening the secret door to Erebor and them just sending in Bilbo into this almost abandoned home of Erebor, which the last time we had seen it was in the opening scene of The Hobbit, and just how beautiful it looked. And then while Bilbo was walking through it, absolutely dead quiet. Then us seeing the halls filled with gold, absolutely amazing. And just thinking, how the fuck is Bilbo going to be able to find this Heart of the Mountain, the Arkenstone, without one, waking the dragon, and two, in this huge heap of gold? And it was by far my favorite movie was meeting Smaug. That I'd waited a whole movie for. We had heard it at the start of An Unexpected Journey, and it ended us off with a cliffhanger at the end of The Unexpected Journey. I was just ready to see Smaug, and they did him so perfectly. Benedict Cumberbatch, absolutely amazing for the voice of Smaug. They just made him so cool, just him waking up and him not instantly burning Bilbo to a crisp. They just showed Smaug's intelligence, and seeing a dragon. Not many dragons have that sort of intelligence that Smaug has, and I just loved his character. How whilst Smaug was talking to Bilbo, and Bilbo trying to delay what he knew what was going to come, and him trying to find the Arkenstone, he was boasting. He was like glazing Smaug, basically saying like, oh great Smaug, I've heard tales about you. And that they just made Smaug this epic character of that he was up himself, but also he was just an amazing looking dragon. He spoke like the lines that he had. My claws are like spears, my teeth are like swords, and my wings are hurricanes. Just absolutely amazing. It was just super, super cool, and they just did Smaug so well, and they needed to, because that was Smaug's movie. It's the Desolation of Smaug, and they just made him so menacing, and then it got to the point we were all waiting for it. We wanted to see Smaug breathe fire, and then that was it. Smaug breathes fire, Bilbo gets away, and that's when the dwarves come into Erebor. We get that whole sequence of Smaug chasing the dwarves around Erebor. We get to see Thorin slowly declining from his dragon sickness. First seeing it when he's asking Bilbo where the Arkenstone is, literally holding a sword up to him, and just the whole sequence of just Smaug running around trying to kill the dwarves, and the dwarves using the ingenuity they have to bring Smaug to the forges. Some of the sequence with Smaug too, with just him and Thorin on like that pulley contraption on the nose of Smaug just breathing fire, having all this firepower, and then the dwarves using their ingenuity to use the fire from Smaug to like fire up the forges. Really cool. I had no idea where they were going with that, what the dwarves had come up with how creative they were, and obviously they build Smaug a huge statue that he cannot resist. And before that, we see Bilbo running through the huge halls of Erebor, making him look tiny, and then seeing Smaug bust through them, and just him talking about and figuring out that Bilbo doesn't want the people of Lake Town getting hurt, and that Smaug is like, dude, I'm gonna fucking kill them anyway. You've pissed me off. You've woken me up. You've come in here to steal from me, and you think I'm gonna show the people of Lake Town mercy? Hell no. And yeah, then the dwarves building Smaug, the golden statue, which I had thought of, that's the one way they stop Smaug, is solidifying him in gold like a statue. And I was almost right. The gold ends up splashing all over Smaug to almost like melt him into the floor like Han Solo. But no, it just pisses the fire-breathing dragon even more, to the point where he just goes, vengeance, I will show you vengeance. And he's just pissed. We've just pissed off Smaug. We've just pissed off fucking Smaug. And that's the end of the movie. Him running out of Erebor, all golden, flying up into the sky, shaking off the gold off him. And then you just know Lake Town's fucked. Him flying over to Lake Town, and it ending off with, I am fire. I am death. Just absolutely amazing movie. Now, there were some flaws in it, obviously, and I can't just make... Obviously, I would put the second half of that movie with Smaug in it and S tier, just plainly of how much I like Smaug and how well they did Smaug. And just... I can't put it in an S tier just because the first half of the movie is a little bit weak. Is a little bit weaker compared to these other ones. So I'm going to put it up in an A. And I'm also saying that I'm going to move. The problem is with these movies, I really, really love certain scenes of the movie, but that doesn't make the whole movie S tier if there's an S tier scene. So I think I have to put both of them down in B tier. I'm sorry, I have to. Actually, no, I'm gonna put Desolation of Smaug at A. I don't know why. I'm saying it. That second half of that movie with Smaug, yeah, it's gone an A. I cannot put it anywhere below that with my love of Smaug. So The Hobbit and the Desolation of Smaug is an A tier. Now, I will go on with the War of the Rohirrim. The Lord of the Rings. The War of the Rohirrim. Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Oh! Holy shit, yeah, he's a fucking beast. But no, the fucking king tanks that shit. Spit it. That's the one thing you don't do is talk shit about a guy's daughter. Wait, no, he's not dead. What? No! Wait, why does it look like that?
The beast is rampant!
Wait, it's a rabbit, holy fuck. Fuck that!
Fellows of Rohan, arise!
That's it. Arise! Arise now! Yeah. Ah! Arise! Arise now! Yeah, that. Oh, goosebumps. Goosebumps. Oh, yeah. That's it! Damn! Fuck, this guy's gone beast mode. Holy shit. No way. Wait, he fucking killed. Okay. Good shit, bro. You've earned my fucking. Look at that shot. Oh, aura. You earned my respect, boy. If Legolas can do it, he can do it. No, fuck no, please.
Come on, old girl.
No, oh my god, they mentioned it. They mentioned the horse. He needed a new horse. No! They mentioned he needed a new horse. She's too old. Oh my god, he's exhausted. She's exhausted. Oh no, please. This is so fucking sad. Not with the music too, man. It always gets me with the fucking music. We don't even get to fucking see it, man.
Who's out there?
Oh my god, who is out there? These are the wild men. Oh my god, we're getting supernatural.
Took hold of Wolf's men. Whispers spread that Helm Hammerhand was a human no more.
Oh!
He bore no weapon.
What is he?
A terror, born of madness and grief. A wraith.
A wraith! Yo! Ah! Oh! Fucking hell, he's a scary looking motherfucker. He's huge! Yeah, this guy, he's on demon time, baby. Let's go.
Is there no one left to face me?
Oh, Wolf, where the fuck are you, brother? Come at me, pussy!
Helm! Hammerhand! Still!
I love him. Hammerhead. Helm Hammerhead. Wow. Fuck, I love Last Stands. That was a really fucking good one.
His knees unbent.
Wow. Wait, is she this strong? The shield fucking made him, baby. She fucking did it. Yes! Exactly like they've done in the Two Towers! It's the exact same, like, mountain pass, the exact same hill! Look to the east at night! Oh my god. She didn't. Oh, Saruman!
Days.
Now, this was... I didn't really know what to expect out of this movie with, one, it was new to me and new to a lot of people. The Lord of the Rings doing an animated movie. Had no idea what they were going to do with that. I knew they had a little bit more of creativity that they could do with it. Seeing as it's animated, you've got a lot more flexibility you can use with. And I was just very excited with the title of Rohirrim. in it, seeing what they had done in the Two Towers. I was just very intrigued by the thought of this movie, an animated Lord of the Rings movie. And to be fair, after looking at it now, it was very hype in the moment, and there was some awesome scenes of this movie. I did love Hera. I loved Erwin. I think that's her name, during Two Towers and during the Return of the King. Her story about being a shield maiden and this girl boss, where even though the girl doesn't mean they can't fight, and the stories of the shield maiden being when the men couldn't fight, the women of Rohan took arms, creating the shield maidens. And once I heard that was going to be the story of the War of the Rohirrim, I was very, very excited. Unlucky they didn't lean into that more. I wish they did, that maybe we got to see, like, the shield maidens were still not shown in that. They were still some sort of distant clan. We actually didn't get to see a shield maiden. We just got to see Hera turning into one. And then when speaking of Hera, we have to talk about her father and her two brothers. Her two brothers were really cool. You obviously had one of the brothers who was like one of the stronger brothers, a real warrior brothers, and then the other brother being a archer type bard type character, which I really liked. Both of them having really cool scenes. One of the brothers having a really cool last stand scene, with him taking out a whole Oliphant to him. He did it on his own. He killed an Oliphant, climbed up, killed everybody around it, climbed up on the elephant, killed everybody on it, and then killed the Oliphant itself. Never ever seen, like, Legolas doing it. Yeah, he can do that because it's Legolas. But seeing a normal man do it, in fucking insane. And then him dying was pretty insane. Wolf just shooting an arrow through his neck. And then seeing the other brother die. Well, not die. Well, he does die. But I love callbacks in films when Hera walks over to him before they go to war. And he's like, you need new horses. Horse is too old. And he's like, no, my horse has been so well, has done so well through so many battles. She's not going to let me down now. Which the horse can't help it. The horse got exhausted running away. And that just blew my mind. They just called back to that with we've never seen it before. The reality of a horse getting tired. And yeah, that being the reason why the brother got captured and being the reason why the brother got killed was because of the horse. And I can't believe I'm starting there for it. But now onto Helm Hammer. He was an amazing character. We first saw him in the Hall of Eroda, where Erodas, where he was this absolute like tall figure, and then we saw, I forgot his name, the father of Wolf, and he was a unit in his own, and the whole thing with how Helm wanted Hera to marry to a man of Gondor, and then Flecker, that's his name. Then Flecker saying you don't have trust in Rohan. You're selling Rohan's like strength to Gondor, and Rohan's just gonna become like the bitch of Gondor basically. And Flecker didn't like what Helm was doing, so he's like, let's 1v1. And Helm was like, I'm not gonna 1v1 in my halls, but men 1v1 outside. And that was basically where the movie kind of shot up, where Flecker's punching Helm a ton, and Helm just one-shots Flecker in the head, starting Wolf off on his revenge arc, wanting to kill the whole line of Helm, and wanting to kill Helm himself, wanting him to show what pain really feels like. He took everything away from him. Wolf got banished, his father died, all because of Helm, and that was the motivation for Wolf for the whole movie. But yeah, I can kind of see there were some pacing issues of this movie. The start of the movie, to be fair, it left me with, it needed a bit more like Lord of the Rings. Like the first half needed a bit more Lord of the Rings, like fantasy and magic. Like we're in a Lord of the Rings universe. Like there's not just men, it's not just a medieval universe, there's dragons, and there's like all these different creatures in this universe, and I'm glad they had that sequence with the tentacle monster taking out the Oliphant, and that was really, really cool. But the first half of that movie and that first siege of that Rohan like town, Eridas, I just wanted to see more of like new stuff that we hadn't seen before. We had already seen like Oliphant warfare, we'd already seen huge fights against men, but I also loved it with the similarities and also the callbacks to the fights of Eleanor Plains that they did in the War of the Rohirrim that made it be like, oh, I like that detail. That's details we've seen before. And yeah, and then them going to Helm's Deep, the law between Helm's Deep, really cool. But where the movie really kicked it off was with the I don't even know what it was. Just Helmhammer turning into the Wraith. I don't know if he was a Wraith. I don't know if he was a man, but him basically trying to take out Wolf's army one by one, and just the fight between the orcs. Cool little detail with the orcs is that they were trying to find the rings for Sauron. Super, super cool. Just the way they did Helm and the Wraith, the aesthetic of it, absolutely amazing. I loved that sequence of the movie. That's when it got its Lord of the Rings magic. Was even though I don't know if he was a Wraith or he was just a normal man, but he was known as the Wraith. And the way they made him look at it, the way they made him look like supernatural. So yeah, it was very, very cool. And then towards the end of the movie, I didn't really understand what they were doing with the Eagles. It seemed a bit rushed towards the end, and especially being a fight at Helm's Deep once again, you're not going to top what they did in Two Towers. So personally, I think just don't do it. If you can't top what's been done, just leave those things where it was, and don't try do things in the same spot, because you're not going to be able to beat that. And yeah, I feel like that was the weaker part of the movie, was towards the end. It was very cool seeing Hera get a girl boss like get up on with the wedding dress, the juxtaposition of the wedding dress, the beauty of a woman, and then the strength of her being a fighter. Absolutely amazing. Don't let me forget the Helmhammer's last stand with him literally freezing to death after one-shotting all of like Wolf's men. Very, very cool. But yeah, Wolf, I loved his character, how he wasn't listening to his advisor and he just kept making mistakes, more and more and more mistakes, until him not listening, like he did the whole film, became like the mistake that killed him. And yeah, it was a good movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It just doesn't top, or I don't think it gets close to anything on this list or anything live action from the Lord of the Rings or the Hobbit trilogies. It was just a very cool Lord of the Rings-esque film, and especially with the callbacks to the scene of the Two Towers with the Rohirrim running down the hill and saving the day. It was awesome. I'm really glad they put Saruman in the film. It was very cool seeing him in an animated form, and then also Hera hinting that she was going to go see Gandalf. Very cool. But on this list, it doesn't compare... it doesn't compare to anything on the list here. So I'm putting the Lord of the Rings, the War of the Rohirrim, at C tier. It was a good film. Lacked a little bit of pacing issues. Lacked a little bit of the Lord of the Rings magic. It definitely had really, really great characters. Loved Wolf. Loved Helmhammer. Hera was okay. The two brothers were really good. But yeah, it just lacked that Lord of the Rings magic that I really wanted. So, now, going on to the third and final movie, The Hobbit and the Battle of the Five Armies.
Who wants a nail?
Bubba dubba 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 bubba dubba bubba. The Hobbit! Oh yeah! No, his fire, his belly's getting... Oh, they're dead. Yep, burn to a crisp. No, poor granny!
You cannot save him from the fire.
I don't think Bard's gonna take that. Personally, I wouldn't. I would be shitting bricks if I was up against Smaug.
You have nothing left but your...
No way. No way Smaug just got killed. Wait, what? Oh, two more. I haven't done that in a while. Yeah.
If you try to stop me, I will destroy you.
Yes. Oh, obliterated. What? No. Elrond. Oh my goosebumps. Yo. Oh, Saruman. No, we get a good Saruman.
Should have stayed dead.
Yes. Ching ching. Yo, we get them fighting. This is so cool. You see, the characters we don't get to see in Lord of the Rings fight, we get them to see fight in The Hobbit because there's just more content. Look at that. Like, when we never got to see, we saw Saruman shoot a fireball. Holy. Oh. Morgoth? The first mention of Morgoth, what? What the fuck? Wait, what is that? What is this army? Hold! I think I know what it is. Oh, this is pretty fucking dope. This is so good. Maybe I wanted war. Fuck peace. Let's have war. 2 more! Hey, Thorin! Who is this guy? Why is he riding a pig? It looks so cool.
I'll split his pretty head open.
What? They have goats. Look at the rams. Oh my god, this is so cool. Oh my god, I think this is Pig Cinema. About to get... The what? Oh, they just counted their whole out. They just counted all of it. And then fucked them up even more. How do you like that?
How do you like that? The old twiddly widdly.
The twiddly widdly, dear bugger. I like them. What is that sound? What is that sound? Why is everyone looking that direction? No, please. What is that sound? A windworm? What is that? What is that? It's a huge worm. Oh! No! No! Oh my god! No! 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 Oh my god! Oh my god! Somebody nerf him! Somebody nerf him! Oh, Aura, the pale orc. What? What are you looking at? What? What? Yes! Eagles! Eagles! This movie could get any better. It just did. Oh my god. Motherfuckers! Yes! Be all! Be all! No, 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 no! The beast! Oh my god, we have flying bears now! Oh. How did it get better? How did it get better? Oh, mate. Oh, so close to crying. How beautiful is this landscape? No, I really don't want it to end because this is the end of the Lord of the Rings. Please. Oh my god, it's Gandalf. It's gonna be Gandalf. It's gonna be Gandalf. It's Gandalf. But in the Fellowship, we saw that. What about and the old friends? Gandalf. No, don't end. Don't end. Please. Peter Jackson, you did it again. Ah, man.
I saw the light
Fuck yeah.
fade from the sky.
Now, first of all, before even watching the movie, I had heard that this movie was shorter. It was the shortest out of all of the Hobbit movies. And obviously that made me going into it, I was a bit like, fuck, like, what? Like, you're really gonna have this last movie that all of this story of the Hobbit has accumulated to the shortest film, and I was a little bit hesitant of it, but Jesus Christ, did they pack a punch? I keep saying my favorite opening scene. This opening scene to this Hobbit movie was absolutely amazing, starting off exactly where we ended off, the desolation of Smaug, with Smaug flying down, and I was just waiting for it. It started off with the bells ringing at Lake Town, you waiting to see Smaug flying down from Erebor, and they did it perfectly. Just, you knew he was coming, it was just when he was coming. How long do we have until Smaug absolutely burns this town to an absolute singe? And they just did it absolutely perfectly. They did it so great with the fire and just the desolation that Smaug had created, burning up everything. Just that shot of him flying down and basically like napalming the whole of Lake Town. Super, super dope way to start the movie. And then obviously we had to get Bard and his son, with the only way that they could kill Smaug was with the black arrow, shooting him in the mythical loosened scale on Smaug, made by Bard's ancestors. And yeah, they ended up doing it, and I love it how they still make Smaug as menacing as he can be, and he's kind of like up himself like they did in Desolation of Smaug. The reason why I loved him was that they just made it, he's like, no man can kill me, and it's like, is that your son? He can't escape the fire. Now you will burn. Just once again, Smaug having amazing lines. But sadly, they killed Smaug. And I knew the time was coming that they had to kill Smaug. It was just... I just hate... I said it in my reaction. It sucks seeing Smaug die, and I'm always going to hate it because it's this cool fire-breathing dragon. But we cannot have the rest of the movie with Smaug alive because Smaug's too strong of a being to be left alive. And if Smaug was left alive, and during Lord of the Rings, we would have been smoked. We would have had no chance. Sauron with his army, including Smaug. And I know Smaug is too intelligent for Sauron to just control. Sauron would have made some sort of deal with Smaug to use him as some sort of weapon. And yeah, everyone in Lord of the Rings would have been cooked. No one would have been able to save us. So I know Smaug had to die, but it's always bitter watching such a cool character and a cool creature die. But I'm glad the way they did it was pretty cool. The way how he just flies up in the sky and you just see the light and the orange from his eyes leave and him kind of just fall onto Lake Town. And as the dwarves were watching, you just hear Frodo go, I saw him fall, I saw the dragon fall. And that basically leaves the dwarves and their home of Erebor to themselves. They've got no more fucking dragon to worry about. Very cool starting sequence. And then we ventured into the plot of Thorin getting dragon sickness, now having the halls of Erebor to himself, now still looking for the Arkenstone, and the dwarves having their home back. Thorin was just getting even more greedy and greedy and greedy from the curse left upon the gold set by Smaug, and it was basically killing Thorin, and it would have killed even more people if no one intervened with him, because he was going in such a bad direction. Him just getting so greedy to the point he was turning upon everybody else. and that slowly is building. Also, we had the story of Gandalf, which I forgot to mention in Desolation of Smaug when he went off on his own with Radagast to Dongul Dor. Gandalf ended up getting captured, and that whole scene with Dongul Dor and Gandalf was absolutely so cool. First of all, we see Gandalf in the cage, all strung up, and then we end up figuring out he has one of the elven rings, which slowly figuring out more and more, why does the necromancer need one of the elven rings? Obviously, it's going to be Sauron trying to gather all his rings, and who comes in clutch to save the day? Galadriel, finally seeing the feats and the power of the Lady of the Light, seeing why she is deemed such a strong being, her just turning that orc into literal cubes, like turning him into Lego, absolutely amazing, and probably one of the coolest scenes from the Hobbit trilogy was the big four confronting Sauron, and I'm sad that Radagast and Gandalf got pulled away during that scene, because I really wanted to see Gandalf fight with Galadriel. Absolutely amazing. Seeing my boy Elrond, seeing him finally fighting, not just him being a guy at Rivendell, seeing him actually fight was super, super cool. And then also seeing the power of Saruman the White. So cool, them fighting the Wraiths, which will later in the story be turned into the Nazgul. It was absolutely such an amazing fight. Just seeing the flourishing of Elrond and the power of Saruman, to the point where Galadriel had to step in and banish the servant of Morgoth. Didn't even bother using his name, just calls him a servant of Morgoth, and banishes Sauron back to Mordor, well, over to Mordor, and basically making Sauron flee. It was just awesome. And then also what I love about prequels, showing even more of Saruman's character, hinting on that he is going to go try chase down Sauron, thinking he is strong enough when he is obviously not. Once again, building on the amazing characters that we see in Lord of the Rings. Now, obviously, the time that you guys have been waiting for, with the Battle of the Five Armies, the elves obviously pull up to help the men to get Erebor so they can get their jewels, and then Thorin obviously knows that's coming, so he sends out one of the Ravens of Erebor to bring over his cousin, Dane Ironfoot, and that was just amazing seeing them and the elves and the dwarves fight. The elves using their strategies with the archery, trying to whittle down the numbers of the dwarfs, and the dwarfs were highly prepared using Dane's favorite, the Twiddly Widdlies, which were absolutely so satisfying, and just the whole fighting between the different races, building up even more cool lore and cool details that each of the races fight differently, and they have a different fighting style, and they also all treat each other so differently. Super cool. And then when the orcs pull up was absolutely fucking crazy, when the death worms, I think they're called death worms, whatever, the worms pull up underground digging tunnels for the orcs, and just once again the sheer numbers of orcs, and then the trolls coming out of the ground, some of them just being war beasts with their eyes blinded, and they just had wrecking balls on the end of their hands, and then just huge troll looking things, to the point where if the elves and the dwarves didn't team up, they were all going to die, which was super satisfying. Was the scene of the dwarves running in, and I was like, holy shit, the elves are going to just let the dwarves die. They're just going to let them get killed, but no, they don't. They end up coming clutch, and the dwarves and the elves working together, super duper cool, and just that whole fight was epic. And then Thorin getting over his dragon sickness, that was, to be honest, I feel like that was a little bit rushed. I had a feeling they could have spent a little bit longer divulging how sick Thorin was, and instead of him just turning like that, he literally goes from being almost killing his own kin to killing his own kin to being like all good again. Yeah, I feel like they could have expanded on that a little bit more, and then just them, the company of Thorin Oakenshield coming out to fight, them heading up to the mountain, fighting Azog, and that whole scene up on the mountain was absolutely amazing. That whole scene, them going up to the mountain with the rams and their like the dwarfs like battle machine was absolutely so cool. And just the fight between Thorin and Azog, the fight between Legolas and Bolg, super cool. Legolas literally defying gravity, and Bolg being such a tough opponent to where Legolas really had to show up. But to be fair, it is a young Legolas though, so he's not that experienced. But yeah, he was absolutely so cool. And then probably my favorite sequence of that movie was when the army of Dongledor came, and it looked like it was going to be the end of everybody else. And basically, Radagast comes in clutch with the Eagles, followed by our friend Beor, who we saw in the second film, who we met in the second film, and that was just absolutely amazing. Just Beor flying in, transforming into a bear mid-air, no need to rhyme because I ain't got the time, and that was just amazing. The Eagles cleaning up all the orcs, Beor dropping in, taking out so many, just going absolute beast mode was so cool. And then the fight between Azog and Thorin, I feel like it was a really good fight, but it was such a super sad death for Thorin, and it kind of made, I see why they did the reason they did the dragon sickness stuff, because he felt so bad for Thorin at the end, because all he wanted to do was make a home for his people, and he just like dies without being able to like rewrite his wrongs from being sick, which is really, really sad. And just that whole sequence of him dying was really sad. The whole funeral was incredibly sad. And then obviously Bilbo having to go home after all the stories that he has told. Yeah, it was just really good. The last shot, seeing the company as Bilbo's going home with Gandalf, just always makes me a little bit emotional. Yeah. And then obviously the end of the Hobbit trilogy ends off with Bilbo Baggins going back home to the Shire, Gandalf knowing about that he has the ring and that he shouldn't meddle with magical rings. Really cool way to end that off. And then also, I love how they ended off where they show the shot of the map and then they come back up and it's older Bilbo, and we literally start where we end the Hobbit, where we start the Fellowship of Gandalf knocking on Bilbo's door, and Bilbo telling him to piss off, and then Gandalf going, "What about very old friends?" And that is just an awesome way to end off that movie. That, yeah, The Hobbit, Battle of the Five Armies. This is going to go B tier. It was just a little bit too short. I just love Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. I just want to see more of it. It had S tier scenes, but the whole like story of it, I feel like they could have made it longer, man. I wanted it to be so much longer and really drag out these like battle scenes, drag out like any characters, and yeah. I feel like they could have tied the ends off on like every character before we finish. Like what happened to Bard, what happened to Thundriel, the Elf King. I did like how they ended off with Legolas being sent off by Thundriel saying, go find this guy named Strider. He's a ranger in the north. And Legolas being like, what's his name? And obviously, you know, they're talking about Aragorn. Can't have a Hobbit movie without mentioning Aragorn. And yeah, so yeah, I think it's gonna stay a solid B tier. I think it's gonna stay B tier. Now, the movie all of you guys have been waiting to see what it is ranked. The Lord of the Rings and the Return of the King.
That fellow's done nothing but stare at you since we arrived.
My name is Aragorn, son of Arathorn, and you have my sword.
Who is that? Oh my god, I just got shivers. Oh my god, I just got fucking shivers. Look how fast Shadowfax is. Now that's a horse. That's the Lord of all horses, baby. Oh my god, goosebumps. Is this Gondor? Finally, Gondor. Are we?
Minas Tirith,
Minas Tirith.
City of Kings.
Holy. Anyway, 10,000. Oh, stop doing cool shit. I want to talk, but I don't want to talk over the cool shit. Now, the only thing they need now is a king. Oh, Théoden, don't piss me off, man. Don't be like, why should we help him? Better say yes.
And Rohan will answer.
Yeah!
Master of the Rohirrim.
Master of the Rohirrim, baby. Let's do it, yo. Let's go.
Summon you to fulfill your oath.
None but the King of Gondor may command.
Who the fuck do you think you're talking to? The music. You guys were right. You guys were so fucking right. This movie is so good. What? The ghost guys. Oh, it's so fucking cool. Oh my god, that is terrifying. Yuck. Oh my god, the horn of... I knew it. I knew it when the orcs least expected it. The horn of Rohan! Oh my peak. Already. The reinforcements are here. Rohan's not coming this. Rohan's not coming that. Rohan's here. Motherfuckers. And we're here to fight, yo! Let's do it. Fuck yeah. Oh, Théoden, aura, bruh. Touching everybody's staves. Pause. Let's hunt some orc. Oh, goosebumps. Yes. Fucking run, pussy. Wait. What does this sound? What? Don't make that face, Théoden. Don't make that face. Don't look shocked. I forgot about the elephants. Shit. Oh, poor horse. There's a reason I dressed up at that motherfucker. Yes! They have ghost horses, what?
I thought I'd die fighting side by side with an elf.
Haha.
What about side by side with a friend?
Yes! Oh!
I could do that.
My favorite line of the whole film. That was it. That was my favorite line from the whole film.
I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you. Come on!
Sam, no way! I just can't get over how beaten and battered they've made him look. It just makes the emotion so much stronger.
For Frodo.
Oh. Go Aragorn! Oh my god, look at them go! Yeah! Oh my god. What can you do against a Nazgul? Wait, no, Gandalf. Oh! Wait. No. If I see an eagle. Eagles! No way! What are we gonna do against the wyverns? Eagles!
What are you waiting for?
I swear, Frodo.
The ring is mine.
No, don't put it on! No, he's gonna go invisible. No, please. No! Oh my god. Gollum dies with the ring. Oh, the ring's destroyed, about what cost? No, he's still alive. Oh my god. Timber, baby. Holy shit. Yeah, catch a Sauron. Oh my... They did it! Holy shit! The King of Gondor has returned. Or shall I say, the return of the king.
Now come the days of the king.
Oh, he looks sick as fuck in that armor and that crown on.
At last is the end of our fellowship.
No, don't say that. Stop.
Do not say, do not weep, for not all tears are an evil. It is time, Frodo.
No, please. No.
We set out to save the Shire, and it has been saved, but not for me. You don't mean that. You can't leave.
Do that, man. Oh, Sam and Frodo, man. Oh, I feel so bad for Sam. He's losing his best friend. Oh. No. Oh. Oh no. Toy end on it closing the door. Oh. The end, man, the end. Oh, fuck. That was amazing. Obviously, you guys already know where this is probably going to rank. This movie was absolutely amazing. I don't even know where to start. Starting off with the death of Saruman being impaled. That was absolutely crazy. Just all of the first two films prior to this one, just building on this final movie, this final finale of absolute epicness. Just, you knew Aragorn was going to have to fulfill his prophecy somehow. You knew that all of it was going to come to one huge, like, crescendo, basically, just a huge battle, and I absolutely loved it. Starting off with Frodo, Sam, and Gollum, ending off two towers. You knew that Gollum had something planned to get Frodo and Sam killed, and just watching Gollum get under Sam's skin and push Frodo and Sam away from each other pissed me off so much. Watching how much Sam cared for Frodo, and watching Gollum manipulate Frodo because he knows how he feels about the ring. It just pissed me off so much, but it was just such good writing how they did that. Obviously, them going into the Shelob's cave and seeing Shelob for the first time, absolutely terrifying. It really lived up to the name, what the fuck, like, whatever was in that cave, because Shelob was terrifying. And the fact is that Gollum knew that way, because he had escaped Mordor going through that same tunnel that he brought Frodo and Sam to. So he had already escaped Shelob once, and he obviously did it again, and that whole scene was just terrifying. The only thing stopping Shelob from killing Frodo was the Lady of the Light that Frodo was gifted to, and it was just super duper fucking scary, and you thought they were out of the way, and then Gollum ends up jumping Frodo again because Shelob couldn't kill Frodo, so Gollum just had to do it himself, once again going savage. Frodo pushing Frodo pushing Gollum off the edge of the cliff, thinking he was dead. Obviously, my dumbass forgot my own rule, and Frodo ended up getting impaled by Shelob, and getting put into this, like, disgusting, like cocoon web thing. And obviously our boy Sam, Wise Gamgee, coming in absolute clutch, being the only one to harm Shelob using Sting. And it was just an epic scene of showing how much Sam loves his friend. And yeah, it was just, that scene was epic. And if it wasn't for Sam, the trilogy would have been, it would have been done again, because the orcs would have got the ring off Frodo if it wasn't for Sam grabbing the ring. And then just the whole thing of introducing Gondor, I don't know how they did it, but they just made Gondor seem like this amazing, beautiful, huge city, because all we heard was Gondor throughout the first two movies, and to finally see it and to live up to the name, they fucking did it. Gondor was amazing, and the fact you love that so much within one film just shows how good the writing is. And then don't even get me started on Denethor. Denethor sending out his own son to get killed and Faramir just wanting to prove to his dad that he loves his dad and he just wants to prove his dad right. It was just so incredibly sad. The writing between Denethor, the squire, was just so good. And obviously you know that something huge was coming, and it did. That first siege on Gondor was and basically Gandalf and Merry trying to warn Gandalf, or warn Denethor of what's about to happen, and Denethor being blind to it, just being completely blinded by fear, not even wanting to think about that, and basically having to have, like, Merry, or was it Pippin? Pippin took, I think it was Pippin. Yeah, I think it was Pippin. Having Pippin having to light the blazes and get Rohan for help. Gondor has lit the flames. Gondor need help. And Rohan will answer. And you just knew something insane was going to happen with Gondor and Rohan having to work together to defeat the hands of Sauron. And that was just so cool. The siege, that first siege of Gondor was just absolutely amazing. Just the sheer numbers that Sauron had conjured up, and the sheer size of the like weaponry he was using, the huge flaming battle ram, the literal like siege machines, like the huge siege machines, the huge monsters he had, and the huge like orcs and trolls he had at his disposal. He literally had made and genetically engineered a troll, like the Orkai, that the Orkai or something like that. It was like a troll that could withstand the sun to be able to fight in the sun. Absolutely crazy. Getting introduced to Sauron's strongest soldier, the Witch King of Angmar. Great how they did that. No man can kill him. I was just waiting for him to pull up for that whole fight. And it was just amazing how they just made it seem like Gondor. You knew Gondor was eventually going to fall, but you knew Rohan was eventually going to answer. So it just left you on this really entertaining seat of just like, when is Gondor going to get so overwhelmed that Rohan's going to come? And when is Rohan going to come? And it was just amazing. It was just so cool. And then while Rohan's traveling, Legolas, Gimli, and Aragorn got sent off to their own mission to go get the weapon to win them the fight of the Elenor Plains. And obviously, Elrond ends up meeting Aragorn and gifting him the Sword of Isildur, and that being the sword that can obviously unite the or use the ghost army as a weapon. And those ghosts were absolutely sick. The cursed cowards of one of the battles that were now turned into a ghost army to now serve the king, or like the heir of Isildur. And yeah, Aragorn had to go make a deal with the ghost saying, if you come fight for me, you will be free. And just that boat scene was just so amazing, with Aragorn, Gimli, and Legolas standing on the shore watching those boats make their way to Gondor, and then Aragorn be like, "Oh, there, you and whose army?" And it was just like absolutely amazing with the ghost. That whole scene was just the ghost walking behind, appearing out of the wall, fighting those men with Aragorn leading them. Absolutely, fuck, I keep saying it, absolutely amazing. And just following further the story of Frodo and Sam wheezing their way into Mordor, somehow getting slowly closer and closer to the destruction of the ring. The fight of Gondor got even more intense when the Witch King of Angmar was about to like almost, I don't know what he was going to do. He was like almost going to kill Gandalf. And then you just hear the horns of Rohan. And that was just amazing. Just the whole ride, death. And it just blew my mind. That whole scene of the charging of the Rohan soldiers was absolutely amazing. And obviously, while that's happening, the Witch King of Angmar is like flying down and like practically like hits Theoden. Theoden is on the brink of death, and Arwen has to fight the Witch King of Angmar. No, Erwin has to fight the Witch King of Angmar. Fuck that. But she's the only one that can obviously kill the Witch King, because I am no man. Bang! Super freaking cool. And as soon as you thought we were about to win it, of course, Sauron has something up his sleeve. We've just sent in our army of Rohan, and we were so sweet. We had killed majority of the orcs, but no. what pulls up the line of Oliphants, the war beasts. And that was the first time we saw the Oliphants being used to their full potential. And oh man, it was just showing the feats of Sauron. It was just absolutely amazing. The Oliphants were absolutely terrifying, the size of them, and then them just taking out the Rohan soldiers, the Rohirrim soldiers. Them just like, there were scenes, my favorite scenes of them, like when the Oliphants were just trampling over these men and flinging them around, and it was just the sound effects of the horses being trampled on, the screams of the men. It was just absolutely amazing. And then when you thought the men couldn't win it, and you thought it could get like even better, of course Aragorn had come in with the final, the trap card, the card to win it all, the ghost army. That whole scene was amazing, with the empty boats that were meant to have all the men working for Sauron on it, and they were meant to also come to the fight. Just the empty boats pulling behind the army of the orcs, and who hops off it? Gimli, Aragorn, and Legolas. And that scene of just the ghosts were just amazing. Like, pulling up to the fight, they were literally just like water cutting down everything. Just like a flood of just like swords destroying, obliterating everything in its path. We got that cool Legolas scene with him taking down an Oliphant by himself, and just the ghost cleaning everything up. And then this is when the movie really kicked it up into gear. This was the third act of the movie, when you really knew that shit was about to get real, and that it was coming to the finale of the film. Like, it was do or die. Frodo and Sam were so incredibly close to Mount Doom, and being so close to destroying the ring, that Aragorn, Gimli, Legolas, Gandalf, all of them had to come up with a plan to distract Sauron, and that was to send all the remaining men to Mordor to distract the eye, so Frodo and Sam could get up onto Mount Doom without being spotted. And that whole sequence is amazing. Just like Frodo and Sam getting almost to the top of the mountain, and Frodo collapsing, and you can see like the ring is wearing around Frodo's neck, and that like symbolizes the burden of the ring getting heavier and heavier and heavier, getting the closer to its destruction. Just absolutely amazing. And just if I can't carry the ring, I can't remember what Sam says. It's just, it like almost brought a tear to my eye how amazing it was. Just like, if you can't carry it yourself, I'll carry you, or something like that. Absolutely amazing. And then obviously Aragorn's dialogue, hyping everyone up to fight the armies of Mordor. When you couldn't think that Sauron could get any more orcs, he does, and they're all defending Mordor. And just that scene of Aragorn and the shot of him running up to... Oh, I can't forget the Mouth of Sauron. The Mouth of Sauron was absolutely sick. I loved him. The prosthetic with that was really cool. And being... That was what I would think what the Mouth of Sauron would look like. That's exactly what I think it would look like. Just absolutely so cool. The battle there was amazing. It was kind of a do or die. Aragorn knew that it was kind of almost a suicide mission. Like, they had to hold out for as long as they can, distracting Sauron, for enough to Frodo and Sam to destroy the ring. And Aragorn knew that he was most likely going to die, which is the craziest thing. And they just all go for war, Frodo and Sam. And I can't put into words how crazy that last sequence is at the top of Mount Doom. Obviously, Gollum pulling up out of nowhere, making the task even harder to destroy the ring. Them getting into the like the mouth of Mount Doom, like the entrance of Mount Doom, to the point where they could destroy the ring, and like Frodo standing there at the end of the walkway, holding the ring over the fire of Mount Doom that can destroy the ring, and he just doesn't fucking do it. That just blows me away. It just absolutely, I've got no words for it. Just him holding out the ring and then him turning around and then him going no. And I'm pretty sure he was never going to be able to destroy the ring. The ring would have never let him. Which comes in so clutch and such good writing of when Gollum pulls up, knocks out Sam, and Gollum had to be there or else everybody was dead. If it wasn't for Gollum, Frodo would have got away with the ring, and everybody from that army fighting Sauron's forces would have been dead. Sam would have been dead. Sauron would have got the ring by killing Frodo, and the whole Middle Earth would have been turned to dust and killed. And just the whole of that writing and how intense that scene was, it just blew me away. I just can't give it any more praise. It was just amazing. And how it ends is Gollum dying the one way he would have wanted to, with his precious, and Frodo and Sam, they had actually fucking done it. And just the destruction of Mordor and the destruction of Sauron, so satisfying, watching the tower fall and watching like Middle Earth literally sink. Don't even get me started on the scene with the eagles where the fell beasts come in and you're like, fuck, what are we going to do about the fell beasts? And the eagles come in to fight the fell beasts. That was my favorite scene of Return of the King. That scene was absolutely amazing, paired with the music of the eagles. It was just so cool. But yeah, and then that last back half of, you guys obviously know what happens. Frodo and Sam, they get all good, but this is gonna be hard. That last back half of the movie with Frodo and Sam going back to the Shire, Aragorn being crowned king, and Frodo, Sam, and Bilbo with Gandalf going on one last journey to, I don't even know where it is. Like, it's this elven kingdom, to set Bilbo off so he can go rest. And that just hit me like a truck, that ending scene. I completely did not expect, after saying goodbye to Bilbo, that we would have to say goodbye to Frodo too. And that just scene with Gandalf going, it is now time, it's your turn, Frodo. Fucking hell, man. That, like, him leaving his best friend. Obviously, I now know why. He was just so scarred from the trauma of the journey of the ring. He just couldn't live in that world anymore and be happy. And it was just so sad, but they did that last scene so amazing. It was just, it was top tier. I cannot tell you how, I could not tell you how they do that last scene any better. It made me cry. It made everybody cry. It was just by far the most perfect way to end The Lord of the Rings. And yeah, and fuck, getting to the end where Sam is walking back home with his children and his wife and shutting the door, and that's the end of the Lord of the Rings series. And they just couldn't do that movie any more better. That was peak fucking cinema. Best way to end the peak trilogy. Obviously, you guys already know that the Return of the King is going in S tier, above S tier. It's going in. We're adding a row above. It's going to like Return of the King. Return of the King tier. Return of the King, obviously, you guys already knew. It was amazing. It was just absolutely amazing. Completely deserves to be there. The only thing I want them to add into that movie, if they ever did, was to show how even more formidable Sauron's forces were I was asking throughout the movie, why don't the elves come help, why don't dwarves come out? Because they were fighting their own wars against Sauron's armies too. They couldn't come help because Sauron had that much strength on him that he was just trying to nuke everywhere at that once, and it's just amazing movie. Yeah, and I can't explain it any better. So that's it, The Return of the King. So this is the official Bubba TV Lord of the Rings tier list ranking. We have obviously Return of the King at the top, and then S tier, Two Towers, A tier, Fellowship and the Desolation of Smaug, B tier, The Unexpected Journey and the Battle of the Five Armies, and then C tier, The War of the Rohirrim. And remember, comment down below what your list would look like. I would love to know what your favorite movie is, what your least favorite movie is, what's your favorite scene from your favorite movie. And remember, this is my opinion. Obviously, this tier list that I've made, it doesn't compare to any other movie tier list. This movie tier list is the greatest. This movie tier list is a tier list of the greatest movies ever. So this B equivalent is an S tier anywhere else. These movies are just so incredibly amazing. So I'm going to end that off here. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Don't forget to go check out the Patreon where you can find all my full-length reaction to all my movies if you missed your favorite bit. If you also want to go check out my TikTok and my Instagram, they'll be linked down below. Thank you to all my Patreons, and if you do get my Patreon, you get my videos early, and it's just a good place to hang out with me. You get to communicate with me a little bit more, get to request some movies, and they'll be up on the channel. So yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below what your favorite Lord of the Rings movie is and what you want to see on the channel. I've been your host, Bubba, and I hope you have enjoyed.